Hey fellow adventure riders, Polito Adventures Bob here, going to talk about the new little toy that I put on a CarPlay screen, motorcycle CarPlay screen to be exact, the AOOCCI C6 series. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and you can see what it is here on the box. Obviously, I picked this up directly from the manufacturers. It would be. You can probably find it other places, but I'd ordered it directly from the manufacturer on their website. So you can see I've got it turned on here. I've got it mounted on the bike. This is how I've done my mounting, that you can see there that it's attached to this GPS location with the power cord going in here. What's fantastic on this Norden is that it's got power already right up to here. So I had to just use connectors to connect up to this. Very straight, simple, forward, nothing too complicated. And then I've also, you can see I have the wires routed here that I've also have hooked up the cameras. The front camera I have put down here, and the rear camera I have mounted back here. Got to move that out of the way of it. Let's see if I'll tuck in behind there. So now hopefully that'll stay there. I may have to work with that a little bit, but anyway, I've got the rear camera there. I have seen online that some have mounted it up here, but I'm going to have a tail pack on, or I've got this little pack here that's got some items in it. So I didn't want it up here, and especially with my big ass long legs and old age, I would probably kick my leg over the bike and knock it off. So I didn't want to put it up there. So I found a mounting location right down here. The wiring was all pretty straightforward and simple. I'll take the seat off. I'm going to go for a ride right now. But in a little bit, I'm going to take the seat off and I'll show you how simple it was. I'd seen another online individual that was taking all this plastic off. It was fairly easy for me to just run the wires right down through here, underneath the seat, to the back camera, and of course up to the battery for power. So that was pretty straightforward and simple without removing a bunch of plastic. Just like unlocking your car, I actually used an old hanger trick, that you used to unlock the old cars when they had the buttons in the door that you could pull up on. But for this situation, I was able to run the wire up from back here. Again, when I pull the seat off, I'll show a little more about that, but I was able to run the hanger back up here, hook the wire to it, and pull it back. So it was real simple in that aspect. As you can see on the dash here, there's instructions and everything, and some other guys spend time going through all the functions. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time doing that. I'm just going to kind of show you more straightforward that right now I have it connected up to my phone, which I found that you do have to keep your phone someplace close. I'm actually probably going to get a different mount. I have a phone mount, but I'm not real happy with that. In fact, I have it currently mounted on another bike, but I'm going to get another phone mount. But for now, I have this on here. I put the phone in the bag. That seems to do a pretty good job of keeping the phone connected to the CarPlay device. As you can see, I'm up on the Google Maps here, and the screen brightness is on full bright right now. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, is the day that I get to record this, it's kind of cloudy, so I'm not going to be able to show you what it's like in the direct sunlight. I might push it up here a little bit. There's a little bit more sun out in the driveway, so I might actually push it up there and make a little recording on what sunlight I do have. But so far, what I've used it, I've been pretty happy with the brightness. It's got this sun shield here that I think helps a little bit, but I'm not going to say that in full glare, like from the sun behind you, going up at an angle like this, that it isn't going to wash it out a little bit. But overall, just was, like I say, to go back to the home page, do this and that. Here, you can see the cameras to the front. Swipe, there's my camera to the back. There's a split screen of both the front and the back. And then the back again, and there's the front. Now to go back to the home, punch on that. I've got the tire pressure sensors hooked up so I can see my front and back tire pressures. Of course, if you want to watch a replay on the cameras, you can just press that and it goes over and you can watch replays. But as I say, some other people have got some more elaborate videos on how to use the device. I'm not going to get caught up in that here. I mainly am going to just be posting this on the Husqvarna Norden 901 forums and pages so people can see what I've done to mount it on my Norden. It's not a review of the device per se, but more of a review of the device on the Norden adventure bike. All right, that's it for the second. Like I said, there's just not much sun here today to look like in the full sun, but I'll give it a try. Okay, I pushed it forward here. The sun is just starting to come out a little more. You can see now that it is washing out a little more. I'll go ahead and bring the map up. I've been using it already, so you can see there's a lot of finger smudges on there. As I say, you know, it's not full bright sun. It is getting filtered a bit by the clouds, but I think overall, okay, there's coming out a little more. Really, the brightness for, I've had a couple of other devices. In fact, my phone here is an example. I've never been quite real happy with how my phone is. Of course, it gets hooked on this. I've never quite been happy with how my phone washes out. So I think it's definitely better than my phone. It is similar in size to my phone. I didn't want one that's too big, but mainly I wanted to be able to keep my phone somewhere else and not sitting out here on the bike. And then of course this is securely attached. It's got a security device. Yes, I have to go around on the other side of the bike to show that. It's got security screws. Again, of course you can get those, but you just aren't going to have the random person decide they're going to want to try and steal it. So that's definitely helpful. Just a little bit more, since this will be on the forum. You see I've got some Prega bags mounted on there that I just have there to carry various items, of course. Just emergency needs, first aid kit, that type of stuff. I'm not set up at the moment for going on a long adventure ride. That's just for local riding. This is typically kind of how I have a bike set up. Oh, one other thing I forgot to show earlier is this little button. So if I do this, I can bring up the camera. I can punch it again and I'll go back to the map. So that's going to show me the different camera views when I'm punching the bottom button. And then this one will go to the phone if the phone was connected via to use that way. I will have my phone actually connected to the Bluetooth connected to my headset so I can listen to music while I ride. I punch that again, the middle button on this handlebar control, and I go to the map. So I don't think I'll be using that a lot, honestly, but it is kind of nice to, I went ahead and mounted it up and wired it up. It's not a bad item to have on the handlebar. Anyway, that's it for the moment. Wish I had a little more sunlight to show you that, but I think you'll see that it's going to be not too bad. I'm not going to say the most brightest thing on Earth in the direct sunlight, but I think it'll still remain readable. Biggest thing is when they get dust covered, when I ride in groups and you get dust, you're going to have to keep it wiped off. Anything you have mounted there gets all caked up with dust and hard to see. It's another reason I have this bag on here. I put a dust wipe in here when I'm doing that type of riding so I can wipe it off. Anyway, that's it. That's all. Everybody have a great time out there riding and be safe. On the last video I had talked about that after I did a ride the other day that I would come back and video a little more on the wiring situation. It was raining by the time I got back, so I didn't get to do it then. So pulled the bike back out here today, and so I can get this all clipped together. Anyway, again, as you saw, my mounting that I have here, and the wires going down that go over to the controller and down to the front camera there. And then of course I have the wire that goes to the back here. This goes back through and back down through here to the rear camera. So again, as I mentioned earlier in the other video, that one guy to run that wire to a rear camera had pulled all this plastic off. I found that right here I could just run the coat hanger back up through. I attached it to it and pulled it back here, and it was able then to just run it right along back here and then underneath the fairing up to that. Again, for the power, as I mentioned earlier, the power access is just right here. I had to put a little bit of tape in here that's not working too well. I'm gonna have to do something different, so when I go to wash the bike, that it's not getting water down in there. Rain or something shouldn't get in there, but I'm gonna have to do something a little bit better to kind of seal that up. But that's, as with most things, there's little projects that you have to, or little aspects of the project that you got to clean up. Okay, I'm going to add a little more to the video on my AOCCI Series 6. I've been out here in Colorado riding around a few days with it and extremely happy. So thought I would just do a little add-on here about how I'm finding the features of it. As you can see, I'm out here in basically Granby, Colorado right now. Sorry, there's going to be a little reflection on my phone there. Using my iPhone to record this to add on to the other I had done, the other videos I had done actually with Insta360. So basically, I've done a different mount for my phone. This is a waterproof mount. I have it up right now because you can see the screen a little better on my Android phone. As discussed earlier, it is great to be able to Bluetooth the Android Auto right up to the AOCI. So what you're seeing here is what you're seeing there. Now the iPhone that I have in my hand right now, you'll also compare that up. And I have all my maps. Right now what you're looking at is a Gia map. And I have that on my phone as well as on X Off-Road on both devices. So I can reference those as I'm riding. Big thing is, well, I shouldn't say a big thing, but one to note is that I can use my fingers here to move this, and you'll notice it doesn't do anything on the screen up there. So it doesn't matter what zoom I have here on this. If I want to change the zoom on this up here, I have to go up and I have to press the plus and the minus. So I can move in and out using the plus and the minus. I've been finding for following my routes, I've been running about at that zoom level. Getting the brightness between my Android phone and the AOCI is about the same. I have full bright on the phone and I have full bright on this. So that's just as good as it's gonna get. I've noticed on some YouTube videos right now, the Garmin's series are having some issues. I had one as well. I found out I had problems with it too, so I just started using my phone. I have a dual sport off-road bike that I go to ride single track with, and I just use my phone on that. But for my Norden here that I have this mounted on, I use both, and then as I say, I have my Apple iPhone as a third backup. It'll back up both of these, or it'll connect with this via the Apple AutoPlay. So that's it. Just wanted to give a little more, say that I'm very, very pleased with the unit. It's been glitch free. It's been working great for me. And hope you all are out there enjoying your adventures. Keep riding safe, and we'll see you another day.